Tyler with RoachFab.com. This is an installation tutorial for our version 2.1 harness bar. Alright, so the tools required to do this install are 1/8 inch Allen key, a 4mm Allen key, a 5/8 or 16mm regular socket, a ratchet, and a 16 or 17mm wrench, depending on the hardware kit that you get provided. Alright, so now going over the hardware. Some tools are only used for certain kits. So we have two different kits. We have this kit with a inserted 1/8 inch hex drive. It allows you to bypass the hard dog seatbelt tab. Makes for an easier installation, but you could also get away with just having a longer 7/16 bolt. So this is one of our bot kits. It's about $20. It is a 10.9 all thread rod with the insert, a spacer, and the nut. These kits both come with the 1-inch spacer, the M6 by 1.0 countersink, and then the two 7/16 by 20 2-inch bolts with the washers. The tools for each one is the 4mm you will need for that. You will need for both of them. You will need the 17mm for the special hardware kit. The 16 would be for your normal hardware kit or 5/8 equivalent. And now let's do the install. All right, with installing the harness bar, the first thing you want to do is get everything out of your way. And you're going to want to start with getting your plastic pieces removed, your B-pillar trim, and it could also help to remove a seat. It is not necessary, but if you have OEM seats that aren't hard to get out, it may be beneficial to do it during this install. So the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to grab your 1-inch spacers. Go ahead and line them up with the OEM seatbelt location bolt. After you've done that, it's now time to rest the harness bar into its home. So this can go for soft top or hard top owners. Soft top, you have the advantage of coming in directly straight through the side, which is a bit easier. It all depends on your cage, but this is also a hard dog double diagonal M2 for the convertible top or hard top. But we're gonna pretend we got a hard top here. We're gonna come through this side. It's easier with a buddy. And now that we're resting, it is now time to install the M6 1.0 countersink bolts. We're not going to fully tighten these. We're honestly just going to get them in there very loosely to kind of line everything up before we actually do the real bolt. The next thing you're going to do is, if you got our optional bypass hardware kit, you're going to want to grab your special bolt with the hex insert. Note, if you do not have a hard dog, which there are plenty of different roll cage brands out there, some of them do not have the seatbelt tab. And if that's your case, you can just bolt it directly into the harness bar right through the seatbelt bolt, which would go right there, minus the tab. But we're not installing that one here. We're installing something a little different. So then again, your 10.9 stud with the hex insert. Grab your 1/8 inch Allen key. Go ahead and just try and get her lined up in there. And you're just going to thread her all the way down. You know, a socket driven 1/8 inch would probably be better to do this, but you can very well do this with just regular hand tools. Go ahead and stop. All right, so once you got your bolt, your stud most of the way down, add your washer, then you're going to add your nuts. So once you get the nut, you don't want to tighten it. So what you're going to do is actually back your stud back out so it threads up through the nut. Now, why don't we just put a bolt going straight through and add another spacer here? Well, we used to, and it seemed to be pretty inconsistent on the tab height or bar height, or it could be a differential in the car that was causing issues. So we just opted for this bypass. Next up, you're going to grab, in this case, your 17mm. Sometimes you got to put the Allen key in there to kind of hold your stud. Once it gets pretty tight, the stud will stop moving on its own. It's just turned by the bolt. We will torque those down later. We're just snugging these down. That's pretty good. And then after this, you would add your trim pieces back on, your B-pillar trim, stuff like that, etc. But that's pretty much it for this install. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. 4 bolts, hard top or soft top. It fits well. It fits with a variety of different roll cages. It fits the double hoop. The only cage we have come across that it doesn't fit would be auto power, but I would definitely recommend getting a hard dog type cage with one of our harness bars. But yeah, you're ended up with a very solid product. No problem shaking the car around. So, and a loud knock, no problem holding you in. So after that, you just install your seatbelt, your harnesses. These OD bars go really well with a harness reel, and I will put that in the description of the video where to get that as well. So thank you, Tyler with RoachFab. We have more products. We have subframe spacers, we have t-shirts, we have stickers. We definitely have harness bars in a bunch of different colors. As you can see, a really custom, awesome job by Race Crew Powder Coating out here in Texas. So, see y'all next time. Appreciate it.